Hello, how you doing? This is my the second part of my series, Lean Times. I'm going to talk about housing. I'm very much aware of the rental crisis that's going on now, and I'm urging you to think outside the box. Okay, like this one family, they had 10 children, they rented Section 8, etc. They were evicted. Okay, see, they are dependent upon the government. They're dependent upon that Section 8. I would urge families like that because look, 10 children, you're going to get a really big tax refund. I urge you to take that tax refund and go look at rural properties. Go look at rural properties and think outside the box, okay? Because there's a rental prices and now they've had umpteen illegals, they're going to want to put them in all kinds of housing. And the only way to do that is to throw Americans out of housing. So I'm urging you to, if you are poor or whatever, you kicked out of Section 8 housing, to think outside the box. The other day, I saw a church for sale for $45K. Now, it had the parking lot, it had two bathrooms there, a men and a women's bathroom, and the kitchen, and a vestibule. You can convert all of that to a living space. The parking lot was nice. The parking lot was nice, but it's $45K. All you have to do is think outside the box to make that a living space. If you got a mortgage for $45K, your payments will be about $200 a month. If you put some money down, your payments will be even less than that. New York has vacant land for sale. You can go to the auctions online. Mississippi has plenty. I know Mississippi just had a tornado, but they also have plenty of dilapidated properties that you can buy, push them down, rebuild something, and you have a garden right beside them. Think outside the box. If you're living in New York, think outside of New York. Think outside of Pennsylvania. Okay? Think outside of Detroit. There's a world outside of Detroit. There's a world outside of Cleveland. Okay? Think outside the box. It's housing. There's, like I said, I've done videos about this housing in, dilapidated housing, tax delinquent property in Indiana and Detroit. Buy it. Buy those houses that are on Millionaires Row. Buy one of those buildings that used to be a hospital. That's your housing right there. You can just put all your friends in there. If you are homeless, I'm urging you to buy abandoned properties. Okay, that's the answer to your homeless problem. Abandoned lots, because your economy is zero. Your economy is not a $265,000 house. Your economy is zero. So you got to look at economy housing. You got to look at zero housing, tax delinquent property, abandoned properties. Okay, learn how to build a house. I know how to build a house. There are plenty of books on how to build a house from start to finish. Okay, California ain't got nothing for you. It's flooded, it's dry, it's a cesspool of crime. Bye. Hawaii doesn't have anything for you. New York doesn't have anything for you, although they do have abandoned properties. Section 8. I don't know why Peace McIntyre is telling everybody to go get Section 8 apartment, because there is no Section 8 for anybody my age. None. There's no Section 8 for anybody. They're giving all that to the illegals. I keep telling, and I don't know why Peace McIntyre keep telling people to go get their Section 8 housing. Section 8 is being phased out. That's what my understanding is. So you need to buy property. Forget that. Forget what Peace McIntyre is saying. Go apply for your Section 8 housing, your government housing. You get your government check. You talking about a person who's already. Why you listen to a person who's already lost 2 cars through repossession? Why you listen to that? Okay. Buy property. Forget it. If you can't make it in Miami, Florida, which is too expensive for you, go somewhere there's 50 states. Go to one of the cheaper states and pay cash for your housing. I would say that to people in Atlanta too. If you're not making over 200 a year, you cannot afford Atlanta. You just cannot afford Atlanta. Okay. So what you need to do is go on the outside of Atlanta where the poor communities are and buy you some property. If you're a senior citizen and you live in your own house, I'm urging you, do not sign on the dotted line. I don't care who approaches you, who says to sign on the dotted line, do not sign on the dotted line. because what that contract says is that you're going to give them the house for $10. That's what that contract says. If you want to sell your house, get a real bona fide real estate agent licensed that's been selling real estate for at least 10 years. Get a real estate lawyer that knows what to do. Get a real title company. I don't care if you have to pay 6%. I don't care. 6% of the selling price is worth it to get a real estate agent, a real lawyer, and a real title company. Stop dealing with these jackleg people that says sign on a dotted line and you giving them your house for $10. I get calls from these jackleg people all the time. They have offered me half of what the house is worth. And really, they only going to give me like $10,000 if I sign on the dotted line. These are jackleg people. Forget about these jackleg people. Move to a cheaper area because right now everybody's desperate for money. Nobody has any money. Even the illegals don't have any money. And they usually have drug money. Even the illegals don't have any money. So the illegals, they call my house all the time asking for my social security number, asking for my Medicaid number, Medicaid, Medicare, asking for all this information. Sometimes I just hang up. They're asking me to sign over the title of the property to them for $10. I just hang up. I don't even have a conversation with them because look, and they're usually Mexican. Okay, Mexicans don't have any money. The illegals, they don't have any money. Okay, see, their whole dream of coming to America illegally is catching up with them. Okay, so they can't get a job. Somehow they can't get welfare, or maybe they do get welfare. And so they are resorting to scams. Okay, so if you're a senior citizen and you're living in your own house, don't sign anything on a dotted line. Get a real lawyer, a real real estate agent who's been in the business for at least 10 years, and get a real title attorney. It's going to cost you, but it's worth it. Move to a cheaper area. And senior citizens, put your money in a reputable bank. Don't put your money in these jackleg banks, okay? I urge you, if you're not making it in New York, get out of New York, get out of Chicago. Get out of Atlanta, okay? See, if you're homeless or if you're poor, you have to think outside the box. Okay, your income is not $250K, so therefore you cannot afford a house that costs $250K. You cannot afford it, so you're gonna have to. Your economy zero, so you're gonna have to look at zero properties, tax-lien properties, abandoned properties, etc. Certain states are not poor people friendly. California, look, all the illegals got all the real estate in California, so they're not poor people friendly. The illegals got all the property in Miami and Florida. Okay, none of those are poor people friendly. New York is not particularly poor people friendly. I don't know why they put the immigrants in New York. Chicago, none of these are poor people friendly. So you have to think outside the box. So before we have a total economic breakdown, I'm urging poor people, homeless individuals to think outside the box. Go buy that church for $45K. Go buy the lot in Brunswick, Georgia for $19K. And look at the abandoned properties in Mississippi and Georgia. Have a nice day.